Hello everyone, we are going to be learning quantitative reasoning, and the first thing we need to learn is some guidelines that will enable us to solve problems of quantitative reasoning. Here are some guidelines as stated on the board. Number 1, addition or subtraction or both, that is combination of addition and subtraction. Number 2, division or multiplication or both. Division or multiplication or both. That is, division can be combined with multiplication in some cases. Number 3, combination of more than two signs. In this case, it can be more than two signs. That is, addition, multiplication, subtraction can be combined in one pattern. Number 4, squares and square root. Squares and square root. For instance, there can be 2 square. They can give you square root of 16 and so on. That's what I mean by that, or combination of both of them. Number 5, cubes and cube root. Both of them can be combined together to understand a pattern. Another thing we need to learn is the uses of imaginary numbers or secret numbers. Uses of imaginary numbers or secret numbers. At times, they can give a pattern. You just see 2. 2 is changing to 6. What have they done? It means something is used in multiplying that 2. That is, 2 times 3 will be 6. It can be 2 changing to 10. 2 times 5 can be 10. It can be 3 changing to 18. 6 times 3 is 18, and so on and so forth. Another thing you need to learn is equal answers. Equal answers. That is, if you add vertically like this, vertically, maybe 2 plus 3 equals to 5. When you compare with this horizontally, it can be also be 2 and 3. When you add this plus itself, it gives 5, and when you add both of them here, it also becomes 5. So you can see both of them gives equal answers. Another thing we need to learn is prime numbers. We must master our prime numbers, and a prime number is a number that can only divide itself and one only. We are going to learn this in details in my subsequent lesson. Another thing we need to learn is mastery of factorials. Mastery of factorials. That is, multiplying number in descending order. For instance, I gave an example on the board. This is 3 factorial. You now multiply, you now say 3 times 2 times 1. You know the answer is 6. At times, the answer might not be needed, but what they need is the understanding of the application of the factorial. Assuming 5 is given as, let's say 5 factorial, you go the same way. 5 factorial, you move by saying 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 in descending order by multiplication. Then, another thing you need to do is factors of numbers. Factors of numbers. What are factors? Factors are numbers that can divide a given number without remainder. Factors are numbers that can be divided by another set of numbers without a remainder. For instance, if you are given 4, 4 is a number. What are the factors of 4? 1 is a factor. 2 is a factor of 4. 4 is a factor of itself, because 4 can divide itself without remainder. So all these are factors of 4. Another thing we need to learn very well in quantitative reasoning is, in some pattern in quantitative reasoning, is square roots or cube root of the sum of the numbers. That is, square root, you add it with the cube root of number to get the pattern. You square, you cube, and you sum. and it will give you the reasoning you are looking for. Another guidelines to be followed on quantitative reasoning is mastery of times table. For instance, 9 times 12 is equals to 108. As you can see, I didn't look up and down. I wrote my answer immediately. Number 13, knowledge of statistics such as mode. What is mode? The number that occur most in a given set of numbers. Another one is mean. What is mean? Mean can also be called average. That is addition of all the numbers divided by how many they are. Another thing you need to learn is median. This pattern is if finding median. The median means the middle number after you have arranged. After you have arranged the set of numbers. So you now check if it is only one number is at the middle. That will be your median. If there are two at the middle, you sum and divide by 2. That is what median is telling us. Pattern will let you know that you are looking for median or you are looking for range. Another thing is range. Range is the biggest number minus the smallest number in the given set of numbers given to you. You pick the biggest number and minus the smallest number. Whatever you get is your range. So after you have mastered that statistics, it does not work. You can now think of another number or another reasoning, formation of shapes or figures. They can give you some shape. Maybe they are doing something like this in triangular form. They might give you small part to be completed. You now look at the pattern given to you and compare with the one given to you. That is what formation of figures or shape is telling us. The next thing you need to learn again is powers or exponents. Powers or exponents. What number is the particular number carrying? Assuming 2 raised to power 2 is given to you, and you can see 4 in front, or let's say only 2 that is given to you, definitely your mind will tell you it should be either square root or raised to power 2. Another number can be written as 5 like this. If 5 is given to you and in front of that 5 you are seeing 125, definitely the number given to you is raised to power 3 in that pattern. I hope that one is noted. Then we now move to another thing you need to think about is mastery of number basis, number 16. So that one is telling us about you see, is the number given to me is in base 2, is in base 3. If it is addition, you check. If it is subtraction, you know the base of the number that is being given to you. Number 17, idea of decimal numbers. In this case, it can be from percentage to decimal. It can be from fraction to decimal. So the number or the answer, after you have learned it, you thought about it, you will know whether it is decimal, from fraction, or from percentage to decimal. Another thing you need to learn is percentages. Very, very important in both quantitative reasoning and mathematics. And percentage is a special fraction with its denominator always 100. For instance, 20%. You might be giving, maybe it might be from decimal, as I told you, decimal to percentage. Your reasoning will tell you, if you have learned the percentage very well, you know this one is moving from decimal to percentage, because you just move the decimal point and remove the 0, and 2 times 10 will be 20. It can as well be from fraction to percentage. 1/5 times 100 will definitely give him 20%. As the case may be, it can be in 2 ways. So this is mastering of percentages. And another point which we need to know under the guidelines is fraction. The fraction can come from percentage too. It can be from decimal as the case may be. So you need to master all the fractions, from decimal to fraction, from percentage to fraction. Another point which is also in mathematics is ratio. Very, very important to take note of it. This can be, you might be giving fraction to change it to ratio. For instance, if I'm giving 1/2 to ratio, simply 1:2. If I'm giving 3/4 to ratio, it's definitely going to be 3:4. And again, I may be giving, for my reasoning, I may be giving 1:2 like this. I will now think, what did they do? I will now think of maybe is 50:100. 50 here will give me 1, and 50 here will give me 2, and so on.